Nine Perfect Strangers, I have a sort of a long convoluted story as to how it came about. When I was touring after Big Little Lies was published, I kept getting asked the same question, which was, what will your next book be about? And I had a standard joke that I was making, which was, my next book will be set on a tropical island resort and I will have to do a lot of research to get it right, a lot of meticulous research to get it right. And the more I made that joke, the more I started to think, actually, why not? That could make a perfect setting for my next book. And I think I even wrote a couple of chapters of a book set on a tropical island resort. But then something happened to me at a barbecue, and that was what was my inspiration for Truly Madly Guilty. So I put that idea aside and wrote Truly Madly Guilty. And then I probably kept making the same joke when I was on book tour for Truly Madly Guilty about the tropical island resort. And I came back to the idea. But then I recalled a health resort that I'd been to with a girlfriend many years before, when we actually smuggled in some contraband on just a weekend, and I thought that actually creates opportunity for a little bit of conflict. So my tropical island resort turned into a health resort, and I took it from there. If I was taking contraband into a health resort now, it would definitely be coffee. That's the thing that I missed when I was doing research for this book. I did go to a health resort and I didn't take anything in because I thought I should experience it properly, and I desperately missed my coffee. That's the main thing. The responses to the characters in Nine Perfect Strangers so far have been lovely to hear. It's so nice the way people respond to different characters. So I'm surprised sometimes the particular characters some people will choose. I'm always gratified when they say they like Frances, I guess because secretly Frances is the closest to me. So I'm fond of people who say they like Frances. And I'm really happy when they say they like Napoleon, because Napoleon's probably my favourite character. But yeah, of course, any of the characters, I'm pleased if readers say they respond to them. I like it when people say that they understood Masha, the charismatic, slightly scary director of the health resort. I like it when people say, oh, I understand that she meant well, even though she was terrifying. So I appreciate hearing that. If I won the lottery, I honestly don't know what I would do. You start to agonise, don't you? And that's when you start to think, actually, you choose some ridiculous amount of money, and then once you start spending it, you think, actually, that's not enough. So it's silly how you start to think, I'd need to give this to this person and this to this person, and that's not enough now. So now I need to win more in this imaginary scenario. So I don't know. Holidays I think are the best thing, experiences. And of course it would be wonderful to help people out. But yes, that's where you start to agonise over, who do I help out? It's confusing, and that's why I find it so interesting. That's why I wanted to explore that in Nine Perfect Strangers, because every article I've read about lottery winners shows how often they go off the rails and how often it ends up as not actually a very nice experience at all. So it actually sometimes seems like it's something that's more fun to dream of than to actually happen. That's an interesting question. So if I was in a situation similar to the one I created for my Nine Perfect Strangers, the role I would play, I feel like I wouldn't actually have that much to contribute. I'm not somebody who can help with clever solutions if you are caught without giving anything away, but trapped in a difficult situation. I don't know what I would add. I wouldn't be the panicker. I would be calm. I would try to stay calm. Apart from that, I think I would be quite useless. So yes, it'd be better to if there's another narrator, it'd probably be better to kill me off fairly early on in the piece. I loved writing Imperfect Strangers. I think after the success of The Husband's Secret was sort of my breakout book, but I was well into Big Little Lies when that happened. So it was Truly Madly Guilty where I really felt the weight of expectation, so I got myself all worked up with that book and worried that perhaps people wouldn't like Truly Madly Guilty as much as my other books. But then when it came out, and then when some people said they didn't like it as much, I realised actually that's not the end of the world, and some people liked it more, but I realised it's not the end of the world if some people like one book more than the other. So I think I came to Nine Perfect Strangers with a new sense of freedom, a feeling of what will be, will be. So I think I had a lot more fun with this book than perhaps any of my other books. I feel like I've come full circle, and I had the same amount of fun writing this book as I did with my first novel, Three Wishes, which is perhaps why it's probably brought back a lot of the humour of my previous books. Yeah, I loved it.